How y'all doing? Right?
Soak it in, soak it in. And we're in New York right now. And we're in New York right now. That's how real it is for Kobe. Yo, first of all, let me just say, I've sat next to some big names, your Jay-Z's, your big names to interview. I am in a geeked out man fan mode to be standing next to the guy who I consider the greatest in the world and what he does today, ladies and gentlemen, as Ric Flair would say. Oh, this is my crowd tonight. First of all, you just had a beast performance, back-to-back nights. First rivalry game in Boston, then tonight here at the Garden. But there's a history of special games at the Garden. A lot of the great shooting guards, the two guards have gone off at the Garden. Jordan always lit up the Garden. Reggie loved the Garden. What is it for guys like you, the true scorers that love the Garden?
You know, it's so much history here, and I think it's something that you can feel as a player when you come in. You know the fans are excited about it. There's so much history in the arena, and you don't want to disappoint. You want to go out there and put on a good performance.
He did. What was that, 23 in the first half, 19, I don't know if you kept track, you were busy, 19 in the first quarter. Does it feel like, I was thinking about this today, is it any more like home away from home, seeing that two of your star players represent Queens, New York City, Ron and Lamar Odom?
Yeah, no, it's always great. You know that they're, when they come home, they're very excited to play in front of the whole crowd and show how much they've grown as players. And we're all excited for them, and they always play well too, so it's good.
All right, so tell us real quick about these Kobe Sixes. Tell me about this new shoe you got out right now.
Well, I mean, without geeking out too much, because that's what we do at Nike. We break down everything about the shoe, and thank you. And what we try to do, differently or improve on is, I wanted the shoe to become lighter. And I still wanted to feel like I was playing close to the ground, but I also wanted it to be softer. So I wanted to feel like I was walking on pillows. And at the same time, I didn't want to lose that, that speed, that we did so well with the previous shoe. And we did a phenomenal job of it. The Nike staff did an incredible job technology-wise. And there you have it. In terms of the look itself, that's just the fun. That's the icing on the cake. You know what I mean? But we really get down to the nuts and bolts of it and making sure it performs the best way possible.
Talk to me about the Black Mamba movie. Explain to us how this fits in with the shoe, and then basically the concept of it, because you worked with Robert Rodriguez, right. Kanye, Bruce Willis. Right. Explain this whole Black Mamba situation.
There's a lot involved with that. We were just brainstorming, just having a good time, just kicking around various ideas. And I wanted to do something that was different. I didn't want to do something that was just your generic shoe commercial. You know what I mean? I wanted to do something that was a little different, that tied in the shoe with the personality, and kind of mixed it all together. And Rodriguez, he's one of my favorite directors in the world, from Desperado and all the great things that he's done, Machete.
Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, exactly. So the way that he shoots things is different in and of itself. And I called him, asked him if he was down to do it. And he was like, I'm down. And there you have it. And the first day I showed up, actually, I'm on the set, I'm talking with Robert, and he said, I got a surprise for you. I said, well, what? He said, well, I ran into Bruce Willis at the gym yesterday, and we just kind of talking, we just caught up and see what was going on, whatever. He asked me what I was doing. I said, I'm doing Kobe's commercial, you want to be in it? He was like, yeah, when? Tomorrow. And he just showed up, and then there it is.
Is that something that ever geeks you out? Because, listen, when it comes to sports, I was just talking about to my man, you're like super A-list. You're a Hollywood staple. You play in LA. Your fans are megastars. Yeah. Does it ever, you always play it cool, but does it ever geek you out when you're sitting there and cats that you really admire from other fields are worshiping you?
Now, you know what it is for me? It's an opportunity to learn. I love talking with them and figuring out what makes them great at what they do. and try to learn as much as I possibly can. You know, to the day that I die, I'm going to continue to be a sponge and continue to learn. So for me, it was a great experience having Bruce there, having Robert there, having Ye there, and you know, Ye and I, we planned on doing something with Nike years ago. And so when this opportunity came up this summer, I was messing around with him in the studio and all this other stuff. And then once the opportunity came, we jumped on it. And you know, his character in the commercial is a lot of fun, man. He's got a lot of energy.
Is he the bad guy? Is he the heel?
Yo, yeah, he's the guy. He's the boss. He's the boss. You know what I'm saying? So his character has a lot of energy in it. He puts a great performance on, and it's fun.
You never met Ye in your old days on Columbia Records, did you?
No. You know, I was just talking. We just talking because you know he was when I saw him this summer, he was actually just finished. I think Jay just finished doing his verse for the Power remix, and so we were just kind of talking about that concept of it.
Do you love the Kanye album? I just want to ask you.
It's incredible, phenomenal. It's phenomenal. You know, he's the one thing that he does the same thing that I do in basketball. You just continue to think outside the box, and you know, when everybody is zigging, you zag. And that's what he does. He does a great job with it.
So we talked about you playing in LA. In a couple weeks, we got the All-Star game in LA. Your 13th straight. You've done all right in the NBA. What does it feel? What does it mean to get to play that game in Los Angeles?
Well, it's an honor. You know, most of the times when through the span of a player's career, you only have if you're fortunate, you have one All-Star game in front of your home crowd. This will be my second. And, you know, it's a huge honor, man. I've been in LA for 15 years now, and to have another All-Star game there, it's good. Get a chance to put on the show for the home crowd.
I actually got a surprise question from a guy who claims to be your biggest fan. He told me he's your biggest fan. He's a kid out of New Orleans. His name is Dwayne Carter. Y'all may know him as Lil Wayne. But I hit Weezy up, and he said he wanted to ask you, with the rest of your career, what goals do you have on the court besides championships?
No, you know what? It's funny because for me, it's about leading my guys the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the hardest part. I mean, that's the challenge. It's not scoring. It's not. I mean, that stuff comes easy. You know, but the hard part is. It does.
You've watched him play. It comes natural.
The challenge is learning how to take a collection of guys that all have different personalities and different backgrounds, and making sure everybody stays on the same page and everybody stays motivated and stays focused on what the job is. That's the biggest challenge.
One of the things I find super interesting about your career is your growth. And I was thinking earlier today that when you were blowing up, when you were becoming a megastar, the two guys in the league that we all talked about and loved were you and AI.
Right.
Obviously, you guys have had very different ends to wind down your career. When did you figure it out? Like, you were always good, but now when I watch you, you're this super team player. You're beyond a great scorer. When and how did you learn to be that guy?
Because I worked at it. You know what I mean? I worked at it. I focused on it. I understood if I'm going to win championships, this is what I need to learn. And quite honestly, the challenge was, thrust upon me on, when Shaq leaves, you can't win. So I said, oh shit, yes I can. When that happened, that became my motivation. That became my passion, and I was obsessed with it. And here we go.
We getting number 6.
What do you feel about the prospect of playing next year, being coached by a guy who's not named Phil Jackson?
It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird. Now, you know what? I don't think he'll come back. I think this is it for him, and we just want to make sure we send him off the right way.